prime the vacuum hose up to a pull. There's always a certain way you have to do it, but the best way is to pull really good suction out of the skimmer, get a good vacuum. Now what you do is you connect the vacuum head to the pull and the hose to the vacuum head, and you start priming it straight down. Priming it straight down. You don't want to go off to the side like this. You want to go directly straight down into the pool, because otherwise if you just do this, you're going to start sucking in air. So direct input into the water, just like this. Do it directly straight in the water. And watch. As soon as you see me completely prime the hose, you're going to see water coming out this other end. That gives me the signal that my hose is completely primed. Watch. You see water coming out? Boom. There we are. Now what you do is you don't want to run it over the skimmer. You want to run it through the skimmer and into the skimmer like this. Now, in order to create good suction on this, we're going to come over here to the equipment. And the thing is that in order to pull good suction from a pool, is you gotta have your bottom drain off, and you gotta have your skimmer off. You know what there is? Right here. You have a valve. It's a one-way valve though. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it this way so we can pull good suction. Come over here to this skimmer, and since this skimmer line doesn't have a valve to turn to shut it off, what I'm going to use is a cap. You know, you get these, you know, from your PVC, you know, from any store, you know, like Home Depot, or you know, maybe your local pool retail store. But it's called a cap, and what you do is you cap off the other end. So now I have the bottom drain off. I have one skimmer capped off, so I should be creating good suction on this other one. So what we're going to do now is, if you look closely at the skimmer, you see how fast it's going. You see how more it's whirlpooling. It's pulling. It's sucking water. That's the whole key into creating good vacuum from create good suction to vacuum. That's the whole key of vacuuming a pool, is pulling really good suction. And since we have our bottom drain closed off and we have our other skimmer capped off, we're pulling really good suction from this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert it to the very back hole you see there, and it's going to pull it right through. Not right through, but it's going to pull to attach. And there we go. We're all hooked now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the vacuum, and I'm going to start vacuuming up all the debris here. To show how much suction we have on this thing, I'm going to bring it up onto the tanning bed over here. And we'll see that just a little bit of dirt right there on the tanning bed. I'm going to go right over it. And that's going to give me an indication that I got really good suction. Boom. That's how we know we got good suction going on here. See that? Go right over it. See, we're pulling really good suction from here. And the thing is with the vacuum hose is that you don't necessarily want to go too fast over the area that you're doing, because if you just do this, you're just going to stir whatever you're picking up, any kind of debris, sand, dust, algae, and you're you're just going to stir it up. You want to kind of pace yourself just like this. You want to pace yourself. And so now we're going to come over here to the bench over here, so we can say a little lounging area. And we're going to go over it. See, like I said, you always want to pace yourself with these things. That's what you want to do. But for now, that's pretty much what I wanted to explain to you guys about is how to pull good suction. The key to pulling good suction on a pool is you always want to know how to use your valve handles to shut off the bottom drain and the skimmer. You just don't hook up a vacuum hose into one skimmer and start vacuuming. It's not the way it works. The whole objective here is creating good suction, and that's exactly what we just did, was create good suction. So like I said, you know, it's different variations of how to pull suction. Like I said, one of the ways I did it was I closed off the bottom drain and I capped off the other skimmer. Now, sometimes, you know, the valves, you know, are a little bit different on every single pool. Sometimes they don't even have valves. But let me explain this to you. If this one had a valve to the one to actually a skimmer and, you know, separate valve for each, or excuse me, if we had a valve to the bottom drain and one valve to the skimmer, I would have identified it by shutting one off, you know, to see which one was the bottom drain, of course, and I would have shut another one off to see which one was the skimmer, and I wouldn't have to use a cap. But since the plumbing here is different, I had to use a cap to cap off one of the skimmers and pull good suction. And that's the whole key. That's the whole key to doing a pool. To vacuum, to get a pool vacuumed is to pull good suction. And like I said at the very beginning of this video, I was talking about when you prime the hose, you just don't throw it inside the pool. You got to directly import the hose directly into the water downward, and then once you know that you've got it primed, water will eventually start coming out at the other end. That's how you know you got your hose primed. Because if you don't prime your hose correctly, you're going to have a very difficult time getting vacuuming. You're not going to be pulling any suction, because due to the simple fact that your hose still has air in it, and if it's not a good motor, it's going to take forever for it to prime. Now, check this out. We're going to see how much good suction we have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this little thing we just picked up right here, a little piece of debris, boom, sucked it right up. Even if I do take this thing out, this is how it sounds when you know you got suction. That's when you know you got good suction right there.